We just shoot the shit, and that's how we start off.
I was waiting for it to load up, bro.
Don't think of it as
glorious.
Don't worry.
No, I won't give in.
Stop.
I won't
Stop
give
it
in until we get copyrighted.
Stop it. No, it's because you probably directly put the phone to the microphone.
No, it was definitely because I was singing it. I was so good. They thought it was the real song.
For the sake of Kibbles' ego, we're just gonna say it was.
I figured it'd be the perfect opening.
I just got done
to this week.
I just got done an Apex game before I left here, left to come here, and there was a guy who had he was a Loba, and he was I break backs, and I was like, "Is this a Powerhouse Hobbs reference?" He goes, "No, it's a Bane reference." I'm like, "I'm fucking stupid."
Yeah, Bane was doing it first.
Yeah,
he broke the Batman's back.
He's not even real.
He's not even real. He broke the Batman's back. In fact, that's probably where Powerhouse Hobbs got it from.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
If we're being honest here.
Powerhouse Hobbs. So.
Not champion.
That's what I did. I went Powerhouse, and he's like, he did a little text-to-speech thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a robot that came on and went, "No, it is a Bane reference." I'm like, of course. I'm stupid.
Not champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast all about wrestling. In this corner, an author and a black belt, Kibbles.
Kibbles? What kind of name is that?
Pookie the Wolf is the best.
I forgot my copies. And in this corner, Pookie the Wolf.
Pookie the Wolf is one of the best.
Welcome to the Kibbles and Pookies Squared Circle.
Did you like last week's Vince cameos?
Vince cameos?
Yeah, my Vince cameos I had. We were going to have Vince come in, and there's 3-4 parts where he just talked.
Oh, yes.
I put lines in. I mean, like his cameo in our podcast. Where he was talking.
My head went to like Raw or SmackDown, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
In our because you were bringing up last week's video because you got copyrighted because you played that Bobby Roode song.
Yeah, but I just mean that wasn't where my mind went, so I was very confused. But yes, I did.
Yeah, my favorite one was, "Gentlemen, I'm gonna go to the local nudie bar."
Nudie bar.
He says, "Tajiri, you're coming with me," but I didn't leave that part out. Just grabs Tajiri. What's he gonna say? He doesn't even know English.
Rapist.
You rapist.
You rapist.
And it came from my seed. Shane McMahon. Of my seed. There's
Good
some
times.
really bad, like, it's just you look up, I didn't even look up wrestling out of context. I looked up Vince out of context, and it's just a bunch of clips from him.
Yeah.
Guess what else was in it? When he talks to John Cena.
Oh, and he does the N-word with Booker T. Because Booker T is over there. Because he says it, and then Booker T's like, "Tell me he didn't just say that."
Which is ironic, considering Booker T's
It's Booker T.
botch. Yeah.
Good times, good
Hulk
times.
Hogan, we coming for you.
We coming for you, Hulk Hogan.
I think I put that. I put that in a video, and I think it was like a reference that no one would have understood. But then, like, I literally put the clip in and then cut it off right before he's about to say the word. So it's just like, check it out the clip. You're gonna have to find out for yourself because it's not gonna be in my video.
Yeah, go check out Botchamania.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
Just Google it.
That's one of my favorite botches, actually, the Booker T one. Because like,
just Google it.
Instant regret. As soon as he says it,
on his face.
He just like he like grabs his chest and goes like, "What did I just say?"
Yeah.
What did I just say?
At least he shows instant regret, but lets his like brother keep going. It's not like Sid when he's like, "Let's do that over."
Can we go again?
He's like, "Bro, this is live TV."
I've been doing. Look at the adjective, and it makes sense, but just like look at the adjective. It's this. And it was like yesterday we celebrated my sister's 40th birthday, and my dad was the only person who wasn't there. And they're like, "Oh, we missed our dad." And I was like, "Look at the adjective though. Miss? Did we really miss him? Do we really miss him at all?"
You might not.
Oh, they agreed with me.
Oh, okay, good.
I mean, they don't really miss him.
Good.
He's kind of a dickhead, but
gotcha.
No.
So you're like Shane.
No, don't compare me to him.
He's like Vince.
I would never do a leapfrog and
because like
tear my quad.
Because
that way.
listen, there's There's a TikTok going around, and man, Vince is always on his ungrateful son,
Mm-hmm.
his idiot
It's
son.
such a thing of like. It's such a thing of.
I
You
think
know
the
what
latest one was he compared him to Donald Duck. I think
Maybe
I think was the most recent one.
I didn't see that one. So this is the thing, like when it comes to, and this is just me and you thing. When it comes to Shane McMahon, the person it reminds me of is, and I'll bleep it out. You'll just hear me hum something.
I can even make my ass do tricks.
Why?
Because he's like, oh, we're in charge of everything, so we can put me at the front of everything. You know what I mean? That concept of like back in BYTW when he was just like, oh, we make the rules, so I'm going to put myself in this crazy match. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like it's the crazy aspect. Like you could say like, if you want to say like, I would be like events where it's like, oh, people kept saying like I was putting myself in these good matches. But it's just like the crazy stuff that was happening. It was like, oh, I could do crazy stuff too. Like Hardcore Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You take Hardcore Heaven, a match between two other people,
Mm-hmm.
and that person goes, I could do a match like that. You guys didn't give me a chance. Let's do that again. Let's do that match again, and we'll do it. It's not. It's just not. It's just the chemistry.
I mean, I think when the first Hardcore Heaven happened, I think that was during one of his sabbaticals. I don't believe he was actively wrestling with us at that time.
But he
that's
pushed.
beside the point.
But he pushed for doing that match.
Yeah, true.
He pushed very much. He pushed very much for that match.
True.
And we weren't going to do it again like that ever again because it's just the chemistry. The chemistry between two brothers beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
It just worked. They did Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes before we did. Or we did. Yeah, they did it before AEW did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway. I'm going to edit it right there so then people are like, what is he talking about?
Dick.
And it's going to look bad, so it's like, seems like Darren's just a complete asshole to Kibbles.
Yeah, he is.
But then they'll never know why, and it'll be something
Never.
as simple as that.
Never.
But anyway, yeah, he reminds me of Shane.
So AEW.
Mhm.
We got some craziness going on.
Do we?
Yeah, I mean,
gotta look it up.
Takeshka is getting in on the
Yeah,
BBC.
what's that about?
So one of the rumors this week was that AEW is currently working out contract negotiations with Hangman Adam Page, and I'm wondering if that's why they did the like screwdriver angle and why Takeshka's getting put in or getting potentially slotted in because they're contract negotiating with Hangman and they don't know if they'll like reach an agreement before Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Hangman's not in the match and it's Takeshka. I also wouldn't be surprised if it's all build up and the BBC takes out Takeshka and then Hangman returns. And then they're like, oh shit, Hangman's gonna replace Takeshka in the match.
I think Takeshita is gonna be. It's gonna be a concept of.
I mean, it also kind of works because what's his name's been trying to get Takeshka to join
that's what
them.
I'm saying. It's gonna work towards that where it's Don Callis.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be him trying to make Hangman look like the bad guy out of the group and be like, look, this new guy I got, Takeshita is fine. Bring in Takeshita, it's fine. We'll bring in Takeshita, and we don't need Hangman, like that kind of concept.
But in terms of like the actual reason why, I think it's because right now the rumor is that they're trying to do contract negotiations. So I don't think Hangman has an All Elite contract right now, or it's coming up soon, and they're trying to negotiate.
Interesting.
That's what I heard. Don't know if it's true.
What do you think about this week? Granted, I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown, but what do you think about this week?
I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown either.
Well, let's talk about AEW.
AEW was good. I'm kind of interested in where the BBC and Elite stuff is going. I'm invested in that. I'll add one more thing before we move on. There was a brief moment on Wednesday when I thought it was going to be a turn, like I was like, oh, he's bringing out Takeshita, and I was like, shit, Takeshita's about to be like, fuck you guys, and join BCC.
Really?
Yeah. There was like a brief moment where I was like, he's about to clothesline Kenny, and then he didn't. Because so the only reason I thought of that was because Don Callis like keeps trying to like recruit him, and Takeshita keeps saying no, and then like there was also the whole thing where like Takeshita was on Daniel Bryan's side with the whole MJF stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe like they're about to turn Takeshita heel and put him on BCC. Could still happen.
Well, I mean, you said to not to change subject, but we're on AEW. I mean, and I've gone over it before with you already about I want to talk about the Adam Cole Jericho situation. I read an article about how Jericho tweeted out because Britt Baker showed the bruises from that night.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, well, just quit the business if you can't handle it." And I like that. I like the concept of this.
Jericho.
I like the concept of this like very real kind of situation.
Yeah, and Jericho's always the guy who's going to play up stuff like that.
Yeah. But being intermingled with the two of them, I think it really works well. That being said, I told you, I really wish he would have done as much as I love Britt Baker. I wish he would have bled in that whole situation.
Yeah, I think she needed to bleed, or they needed to do something like worse. It was a very like, all right, we're gonna beat down on Britt to get like this like sympathy for Britt, this sympathy for Cole, and then it was like, okay, we're gonna hit her a couple of times with a kendo stick, which like is kind of not a big deal. Like they didn't do anything that like warranted a like, oh my god, how could you type thing.
It was like if it was a normal person, it'd be like, oh, but like you have to go harder than that when it comes to someone like that. That's like trying to make John Moxley a victim. You have to go all out because it's not going to look like I should care.
Yeah.
Britt Baker was in the lights out match at St. Patty's Day. She's been in matches where she's been brutalized. You can't sit there and go, oh, they hit her a couple of times with a kendo stick. It's like, yeah, she's been through a lot worse. She'll be all right.
Yeah, they hit her a couple times with a kendo stick, and I thought that was like they hit her like 2, 3, maybe it was like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, okay, like here's where they're like, they beat on her a little bit, so she's kind of down, and then they're going to pull out whatever it is. Like they're going to do like a concerto, or they're going to like something. And then like they just hit her a couple more times, and it kind of ended. Or the other thing was like, oh, this is where like Saraya is about to hand the kendo stick to like Jericho, and Jericho's going to hit her.
Really, anything they could have did.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Because at one point, they're just like all 5 of them were just standing around and going like, "Yeah, we beat up a woman," and it was just like, "Yeah, but she's been through a lot more." And Adam Cole was just like, "Please stop, please stop." It's just like, but you're not really escalating any further than you can. They're all professional wrestlers in that ring. All 7 of those people, and they can handle it.
Yeah, they needed something more. It was everything about the segment was perfect except what they actually did to Britt Baker wasn't enough.
Yeah. Do you know what it reminded me of? As of lately,
the only thing I can think of is the Randy Orton Triple H feud.
I'm thinking sooner than that. Most recent. It reminded me of Edge and Beth Phoenix with the Judgment Day.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Because it was the exact same thing, where it's just like him tied up somewhere and them beating the crap out. And again, Beth Phoenix, very tough person. Yeah, they did a lot more. Yeah. And it's
they warranted the segment by doing the concerto.
Yes. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. As soon as they tied him up, I'm like, this reminds me of the Edge and Beth Phoenix thing.
Yeah. Also strange that Saraya hit her with the kendo stick a bunch of times when like there are 2 women in the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
Like,
did you see
that kind of annoyed me?
Yeah.
I was like, was like, why can't Anna Jay and Ty Conti do this?
Anna Jay is, I don't know, feuding with
I guess
Julia Hart or something.
Yeah, I guess partially because I secretly wanted to be like, could Anna Jay and Ty Conti do this so that way we can like get Ty Mello, sorry. Could we do then we
it
could do like a
matters.
Ty Mello and Anna Jay rivalry with Britt Baker and maybe like I guess my thing is I'm done with this outcast.
Yes,
like
I was getting there too when you said it. I was like, well, no, it's warranted
Or-
because it's so boring right now.
yeah, or I would be interested in the outcast thing if they would do something different with it. It is just fucking Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, and like I can tell you every week they're either going to fight those two in a tag match or they're going to have some other match and they're going to beat down on the
Yeah.
person after the match, and then Jamie Hayter's going to run down to the ring and they're all going to duck out of the ring, and I'm like I've been watching the same thing for so many weeks. I'm bored.
And like Britt
I don't want to
Baker,
watch it anymore.
and no, like Willow disappeared. Blue Sky has disappeared. Riho has disappeared. It's like what are they doing with? You set something up and you're like not even getting the thing that you wanted to, like the payoff. There should be
Yeah.
more. Like, and if it's a thing of like they're trying to pad for time so you can get the double or nothing, that's fine. But do something. You have to do something with that because
Yeah.
it just feels like there's nothing going on.
Or to like do something like, or like you don't have to do the same thing every week. Every week it's one of the outcasts and they're in the one-on-one match with some other person and they beat them down, and then Jamie Hayter runs out and they all duck out of the ring, and then Jamie Hayter stands there with the other person. Like I like It-
Riho brings out a pipe and
I'm
she
bored.
scares him out of the ring.
yeah, Riho brings a pipe.
Bigger than her.
I don't like Rio.
Listen,
I'm just not into
I
her.
appreciate her abilities, but she's not very. She's not very charismatic or like kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think that's
She's
what
a good wrestler.
Because I'm like, like there's nothing about her that interests me.
She's like,
Which is kind of weird because Sheeta, I really like Sheeta, but Sheeta's kind of the same way. Like she doesn't really have a
Sheeta-
personality.
Sheeta. Yeah, but Sheeta. I don't know. Sheeta talks a little better, I think.
Yeah,
She's somewhere like when like you see like a character that has like stats.
mm-hmm.
She's like overall in the middle, like all the way through. She's like
Okay.
one of those like in the middle for every kind of check mark.
Yeah,
I think she is. But I think there's got to be someone who's like that, where like Riho, where it's just like you're really good at wrestling, but you don't have any personality.
yeah.
Maybe Dante Martin, but even Dante Martin's pretty good at talking. I mean, it's also the Japanese thing. She might not be able to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying personally, right now, the way that they're presenting her is not interesting to me at all.
Great wrestler though.
There's like always ways that you could work around that and present somebody differently and like do things with them, and like I don't find her interesting at all with the way that they're presenting her right now, which is like zero build up. She's just the first women, and like even when she won the championship, I wasn't really that invested in her.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think Nyla Rose should have been the first champion.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Nyla Beast, Nyla Rose, I'm the Beast.
The Riho thing. This is like when you think about like if she didn't do stuff like what she does with the pinfall, where she like slips out of it,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, she's a pretty boring wrestler. But like
Yeah.
the fact that she does stuff that no one else really does, I'm like, she's worth having around.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of I wish there was more to her and more like, I don't know. It just seems very it gets boring at times,
Yeah.
like you said. The situation with the women's division is, I don't know. It's very
Is like I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this women's division.
yeah. Because then like not only now are you involving this, you're involving the women's wrestling, the women's championship involving with a multi-woman set of matches. So now you have that freed up, or you don't have that freed up. So like if you took Jamie Hayter and had the title either taken away from her or move her away from this situation, we could still have one-on-one competitions with the women's division for the title, and then still have this trios fight with the Outcast going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're involving the killer and the pillar and being like, oh, well, they're the two great. Yeah, but she has the title, and you can't do anything with the title until you're done with this, thing, or Jamie Hayter loses the title.
I think that's where it's going. I think Jamie Hayter. I think at Double or Nothing, Jamie Hayter loses it to one of the Outcasts. Since Tony Storm was already champion, I'm guessing probably Saraya or Ruby.
You're wrong. I was gonna say you're all wrong, but it's just you.
Just me.
Thunder Rosa's coming back. She's gonna take the title back from.
She is?
From Jamie Hayter. Yeah.
If you say so.
He's
shaking his head.
I'm shaking my head no.
I
don't even believe that.
He doesn't believe it.
Let me tell you something, and we're still in AEW stuff.
Tell me something?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to ask you something first. How do you feel about the 4 Pillars promos?
I like them. I like that we got out of the formula. Because we talked about it last week, where the formula was really good. Open the show, really good match with one of the Pillars and somebody else, and then MJF comes out and we talk, and then 25 minutes later, the whole segment's done. And we got away from that this week.
I've been seeing
super weird that he was like, I talked to Tony Khan and we're gonna do a tournament, and I was like, no, I kind of really want to see a Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah. I think they're gonna end.
But then with the way that everything went down with the Sammy Guevara and the Jungle Boy and Jangle Boy, I think he'll screw Darby, and then Tony Khan will come out at the end of the show afterwards, and he'll be like, nope, it's a Fatal 4-Way anyway.
Yeah,
I think that's where it goes. Here's what I'll say. I'm gonna be severely disappointed if they don't do a Fatal 4-Way. even if he tries to cheat and isn't successful, and Darby Allin still wins, and we get Darby Allin MJF 1-on-1,
you're still gonna be upset.
I'm still gonna be upset.
Yeah, no, that's
because I want this fucking Fatal 4-Way match.
You have to do that. He's obviously not thinking if he's not doing it that way. If he's thinking like, oh, one of these 3 people are going to be the person that fights MJF. If you're not thinking that way, then you should just stop booking. Yeah,
and I mean, clearly Tony Khan does not like multi-man matches for the World Championship. I mean, AEW's been around for...
But that's the crazy part, too. The fact that you said that, there is never any disqualifications anyway. So if you're worried about that...
No, I think it's the prestige of, like... I don't think it's necessarily about that. I think it's about the prestige of
adding in that.
Building up and having this, like, one-on-one, like, this is the number one challenger type situation.
Yeah, like a boxing thing.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because, like, honestly,
you never see Go ahead, sorry.
You never see a multi-man boxing match.
All right, he got my point across.
Which actually, honestly, if they had a multi-man boxing match, I'd probably buy that pay-per-view to watch what that fight turns out like.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people punching each other.
Like I'm interested.
That would be so chaotic.
Triple threat boxing match. Shut up and take my money.
They'll have to do like a bunch of refs. Anyway, go ahead about the 4 Pillars thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, like AEW's been around for what, like 4 years?
Almost
4 or 5 years, and honestly, I can only think of one one-on-one World Championship match.
That's the Bastard Orange and Chris Jericho?
No, it was Bastard Orange and Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega, that was it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, at Double or Nothing.
My bad. That's my fault.
The Double or Nothing when fans were back in the arena.
Yeah.
So that would have been what, 2021? I think
maybe. I don't remember. That was right when I started.
Okay. It would have had to have been 2021 because it wasn't 2022.
During COVID is when I started watching Botchamania, and that's what got me back into wrestling.
Okay. Yeah, and that legitimately is the only match I can think of that was a non-one-on-one match for the World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's probably been like 1 or 2 others, but like I legitimately can't think of them.
But your point is you want this Fatal 4-Way to happen.
I do. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, it makes itself, essentially.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
A lot of people are saying how the promos are fantastic and how everyone is doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Darby Allin one when they all came out during his Reba Mitzvah. I find them all boring. I found no one but MJF has been amusing as far as their promos
Mm-hmm.
for me. Because even the complaining on Twitter thing from Darby Allin, I'm like, I don't like. It's really kind of feels very.
Yeah.
It feels very like you just came up with that on the spot. It doesn't feel very constructed very well about your point that you're trying to get across. I mean, they all had the same concept, which is they've all been fighting really hard to get to this point, but it almost seems like they're finding stupid reasons to bicker with MJF.
Yeah, I mean, I get Darby Allin. I get Darby Allin's point, and I thought that was fine because like there was the CM Punk, there was the Hangman Page, there was the Elite, there was Andrade, there was Sammy Guevara, there was MJF. Like a lot of like Twitter complaining.
And there wasn't those promos they weren't bad. I just did not find them like they I don't think they got way too much praise than I thought they would have. That's
Okay.
what kind of throws me off. I'm like I don't agree with this, but I guess if you believe that, that's fine. Like I'm not like saying it was garbage. I'm saying
Mhm.
like I just didn't agree with that it was like fantastic. Like oh my god, that was such a good promo.
Did you like Sting?
Yes, Sting's promo was actually really good because he even brought up all his all his sagas. Well, not even the pom poms.
Throwing pom-poms at him. It's fucking hilarious.
Pom poms, but not even that. But him going through his phases of his career, and then at
Mhm.
the end mentioning the Joker one that I feel like we shouldn't talk about because it's not very good.
I like the Joker.
Listen, even the concept of Sting is also just the Crow, so it's just like. You don't need to take from another movie now. You already
Yeah,
have
because
one movie. Don't
He
take
needed
from
to be
another movie.
interesting. He needed to be different.
And also, there was an oversaturation of Heath Ledger's the Joker. You don't need more of that.
Yeah.
I get that it's just like, oh yeah, he's crazy and he's being the Joker-esque. But I just feel like a lot of the stuff, like I'm so over the oversaturation of Heath Ledger when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the. Well, I mean, you also have to remember that like when Sting did it, it was way before there was oversaturation of Heath Ledger.
That's
with the
true.
Joker.
That's true.
Also, like I liked Joker Sting because it gave him it was just different, and I liked some of the unique things that he did under the Joker Sting moniker. Like he took the World Championship. I think RVD was the champion, and like Hulk Hogan had brought in RVD or whatever, and like he like stole the world title, and like when he gave it back, he had carved the word like deception into the belt and stuff, like just like cool stuff like that. That like Crow Sting could have done, but like
but
it works better
more
with Joker
unhinged
Sting.
version of Joker or of
Yeah.
Sting. No, I loved
like
the
I think
promo.
that's why I liked it was just because he did like really unique things with it.
I love the promo in general because it was very much like he just went off.
If I wasn't so invested in this being a fatal 4-way, and if they had been building it as MJF against Darby 101, then I would have totally said that promo was the kickoff point where Darby Allin is becoming number one contender, and what you need to do right now is at the end of the show when you're talking about what's happening next week, you need to say in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, Sting versus MJF is the main event of Dynamite that week.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have MJF fucking beat the shit out of Sting. Sting has like his hope spots or whatever, but like you got to have MJF beat him, and then Darby like runs it, even if it's a no contest type thing, right? And then Darby Allin runs out and MJF gets out of the ring, like to really build the,
I think
like, you are Darby Allin. I'm beating down on your mentor. Your mentor has said, "Showtime for me is almost done," and then MJF can have the promo right. He said, "Showtime's almost done." Well, I proved you Showtime is already done. Like he can't hang with me.
Yeah.
I'm the world champion. Just like you can't hang with me.
Yeah.
Like his Showtime's done. Yours hasn't even started because it's never going to start. Type thing.
Even
that would have been perfect.
listen, even if it wasn't a fatal 4-way yet and announced, just do Sting versus MJF. Because when was the last time we saw him fight? Was it Daniel Bryan Danielson? The yes guy?
Oh, you mean MJF?
Yeah.
I was thinking Sting.
No, when was MJF's last match? It was the
Iron Man match.
Okay. Yeah, like stop going back to the old formulas. Like Chris Jericho and MJF are the worst people who are like, we're just gonna keep doing the same stuff over and over and over again until you just fucking where it's gonna go by the end.
Yeah.
Like, what's next? Adam Cole versus Jake Hager. Adam Cole versus whoever. It's just like integrate the stuff together. If you're gonna have the JAS, if you're gonna have the JAS, do that. Integrate the Acclaimed working with Adam Cole to fight Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker and Jake Hager versus Acclaimed and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And integrate it together, because it just gets so fucking annoying to be like, I'm gonna send this crony out. I'm gonna send this crony out. Or like with MJF, it's like, I'm gonna buy this person to go beat you. I'm gonna buy this person to go beat you. And then I'm gonna find my way to buy my way out of having to wrestle anybody.
Yeah.
It just, the two of them are just so formulaic. It's just like, stop, like just change it up, do something, because it just gets really old real quick. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Kingston went to ROH to stop doing this formulaic shit with, because Chris Jericho and him was a biggest thing where like, this is getting super old real quick.
Yeah. Which is a shame because it was really hot for a while.
Yeah, it was really good.
We got that wonderful, I guess you would say meme, or moment where Eddie Kingston's walking down the aisle with the fucking gas can, and he's all bloodied up, and
we had blood and guts and anarchy in the arena.
Yeah,
from that whole storyline.
Yeah, I think that's what they're building to with the Elite and BCC.
Yeah. What you call it? Said BBC the other night. Hangman.
Yeah, it's BBC.
BBC.
Like the BBC.
Yeah.
They got a lot of great shows.
Yeah, the BBC. You're watching the BBC.
You're watching the
Anyway.
BBC.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on lately. Maybe I'm not paying attention enough. But I just feel like nothing's really kind of catching my eye lately. You know who they could get? Someone like who's been gone for a while and like was in WWE at one point and like hated WWE and he like feels the same way we do about WWE. But like he's kind of an asshole. Oh, you know what? They should just bring back CM Punk. Bring back CM Punk and
sounds like they are.
Yeah, it sounds like they are.
I mean, there's a lot of talk around him. There's been a lot of talk the last week about him returning as a part of like a different show, and there's going to be like a soft roster split for the show where like there will be some guys who only appear on one show, and then there's going to be a lot of the roster that is between the two shows.
That's weird.
It sounds like Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers execs are really pushing for. The Warner Brothers execs are really pushing for having CM Punk come back because I think they see him as a big ratings draw. But it desperately seems like him and the Elite are not on the same page. Which
I think it's just not even
doesn't
the
sound
Elite.
good.
I think it's a lot of people are not.
Yep. And I think
which is weird. A lot of people are for him and a lot of people are very against him.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're going to see with CM Punk. I think if you see him come back, you're going to see him on, I'm just going to say Dynamite and Rampage because we don't know what this third show would be called if they had it. But like, I would not suspect if you only see CM Punk on Rampage, you only see the Elite on Dynamite. You will never see them on the opposite show because then they won't have to be in the locker room at the same time.
Yeah. At that point, why don't you just fucking do Ring of Honor or something? I don't know.
Yeah, put them on Ring of Honor.
Like just have a show like that. Have that other show be Ring of Honor and just do whatever. You know what I mean? This is just like
Well, it's
such a
kind of
weird thing.
It's also strange because let's say Warner Brothers wants to bring back, or let's say Warner Brothers wants to do this this other show, right? Warner Brothers wants to do this new AEW show on Saturdays. Like, why are we doing another AEW show where all the like, why wouldn't we just make it ROH and give ROH a television
That's
instead
what I mean.
instead of the Honor Club like pay for streaming? Where like, I didn't even make it through the first fucking show. Like, I just wasn't interested enough.
You haven't been keeping up.
I've not.
You haven't been keeping up, sir.
Nope. It was just super generic.
What?
Like, maybe it's gotten better since then, but I was like halfway or 2/3 of the way through the first show, and I was just like, nah.
I mean, it's sure it's a lot of people
Not
who really
interested
just
enough.
like wrestling, but
I'm sure there's a market for it. I'm sure there's a lot of people that subscribe to it, a lot of people that watch it. I didn't find it interesting enough to keep my attention.
did you see the I don't know if you keep up. I know you watch Botchamania, but you don't watch Promo Joe, do you?
I watch some of his stuff if it pops up on my like suggested feed.
Yeah. Which is good, by the way, because they have cleared the rumors that I'm sure everyone was thinking that Botchamania and Promo Joe were
The
at-
same person?
Well, no, just didn't like each other.
Oh.
But they've cleared up the fact that Botchamania doesn't really care.
Okay.
But so Promo Joe did a thing on his recent video where it was like he does these weird like South Park things where he had two people come up on South Park at like a wellness center, and it was two people in wheelchairs, and they rolled up to each other, and I'm like, I don't know who these people are. And he's like, one of the guys goes, "Hey, Dante Martin, how'd you hurt your leg?" He's like, "Oh, I got a Canadian destroyer off a ladder into a bunch of tables and broke my leg." And he goes, "What about you, Shane?" And Shane's like, "Did you like jump off a Hell in a Cell match?" Or he's like, "Well, I remember there was a Hell in a Cell for Wrestlemania. Did you jump off and do something crazy?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Well, what happened? What'd you do? What crazy thing did you?" He's like, "I did an over-under and did a leapfrog and torn my quad." He's like, "And then what?" He's like, "That's it." And he's like, "Oh, okay." But it was like this weird, like, and like as soon as you get like the point of like, oh, that's Shane McMahon. Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And Dante Martin went through fucking hell and broke his leg, and you're like, oh, Shane. Yeah, Shane didn't do much at all. So, also, fuck Shane. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that guy.
He's ungrateful.
Oh, fuck Vince too. Fuck that guy as well.
Oh, okay.
They're two people who I'm like, they're garbage people. I don't know enough about Stephanie or Paul to be like, fuck them too. But fuck Vince and fuck Shane.
Okay.
Just fuck them. Like, we know for a fact that the bad things Vince has done. But then you see some of the matches that Shane has been put in and does a shitty job. And you're like, yeah, fuck that guy too. Why are you even in this match if you're trying to fucking... What did he do in the Rumble where he tried to like punch Brock Lesnar out or something like that? He was doing like trying to clear the ring as if he could still fucking do that.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So how about I had a topic. Oh, okay. Came back to me. So how about the most recent match that's been added to the card for Backlash?
I didn't hear about this.
Oh. Well, the Nigerian Giant Almost is going to be going one-on-one with Seth frickin' Rollins.
Why?
I don't know.
Have they been feuding?
They announced it on Twitter.
Have...
And then Seth Rollins had some like, "Oh, okay, I guess this is my match," or something like tweet. And so a lot of people were like, "Oh, did he just find out about it when we did?"
Yeah, that's...
He had like a "Oh, okay."
The morale for some of this
Basically.
stuff is very... the morale for some of this stuff is very much changing. Which is another reason why you go, oh, well, nothing's changed. Vince isn't in charge. But then again, you have these people who are having these weird things happen, and you go, this sounds like before Paul got in charge. And you're like, no. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, you sure?
The one thing with Becky was she wasn't on Raw, but that was just for the feud for
I think that was
Trish.
for the feud, yeah.
Yeah, they've said like it was just for the feud. which is it's fine, but
Yeah, it's where the weird. That's where like the weird pro wrestling lines blur, where like
yeah,
for some reason pro wrestlers have to feud with pro wrestlers on Twitter instead of being like normal actors.
yeah.
Um,
Well, the fact that
I don't ever see I don't ever see Vin Diesel like leading up to the new Fast and the Furious movie.
Talk
I
shit
don't
on
ever
Jason
see.
Momoa.
Yeah, like it's stupid. Why do we have to like? Why can't we just admit that we're actors?
the concept of like, so yeah, if that's the case, if you go ahead and say, if you go on and say, oh, Rebecca, Becky Lynch changed her name from Becky Lynch to Rebecca Quinn on Twitter. What does that have to do with Trish? Trish doesn't have her real name set up. She doesn't.
Yeah.
There's nothing in common with that situation where you go, well, this makes sense. What do they have so far for Backlash? Is Backlash coming up soon? Backlash is what, next week? This week? Has it just happened? Am I stupid?
Yes.
I think it's May something, right?
May 6th. May 6th.
When's Double or Nothing?
Memorial Weekend, end of May.
Okay, then we're good. Never mind.
Not this upcoming weekend. The following weekend is Backlash.
Okay.
Double or Nothing's not for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks.
So we can do a video on Backlash once we get. So that means we have to watch Raw and SmackDown
So next
this week.
Next week we have Backlash.
That means we have to watch the shows.
So WWE tweeted out this week, which match are you most excited for? They've announced Rhea
Sorry.
Ripley versus Selena Vega for the Women's Championship.
Okay.
They've announced Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley triple threat for the United States Championship. Seth Rollins versus Omos. And right now the main event is KO, Sammy, and Matt Riddle against the Usos and Solo Sikoa in a 6-man tag.
That's the main event.
Yep, I would assume so. So they tweeted this out, and then Rollins replied with a gif of Ace Ventura saying, "Alrighty then," which a lot of people have taken as
He didn't know.
it's the first time he's hearing that he's facing Omos at the pay-per-view, because there's, at this point, been no build-up, promos, or
Yeah.
anything for this match.
He hasn't had anything going on.
Correct. So, at least they've removed the word WrestleMania.
What do you mean?
Well, last year when Vince was in charge, it was called WrestleMania Backlash. Actually, I think the last 2 years it was called WrestleMania Backlash.
You know what I'm going to say to that. That's fucking stupid.
That's dumb. Don't care who you are. That's dumb.
That's fucking stupid.
Don't care who you are. That's dumb.
Because I was talking about the listen. It'd be my dream if someone said, "Hey, who is one person who you want to come to AEW from WWE?" I would say that's a 2-part question. I would say male and female, and they're married. Bring over Rollins, bring over Lynch, do that shit. I would love to hear that Rebecca Quinn is all elite. I'd love to hear that.
Okay.
I'd love to hear that. Don't correct me. I love to hear that Colby Lopez is all elite. I'd love to hear.
Oh, Seth Rollins. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think that's what they would. I think if he left, he'd go back to Tyler Black,
Okay.
his indie name.
Yeah. So that's what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. I didn't even mean to
Give
do
me
that.
what I want.
I didn't even mean to do that on purpose, but give me what I want. Give me what I want. Batista said it best. Give me what I want. So what we'll do next week,
Yeah, give me what I want.
we're gonna do a
What I really, really want. No, tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
I wanna. Oh, is that Nyla Rose and Cheetah?
Yeah.
Is this when she wins it?
I forget, because I think they traded the belt. No, this has got to be when Sheeta won it, because I think
Yeah.
it was a
Double or Nothing.
1-year reign when Britt Baker beat her, and that was at the next Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
So
that was
this
Double
must
or
be when
Nothing.
Sheeta wins it.
Yeah. God, I love both of them. I'd love to meet both of those women that are in the ring right. They're not in the ring actually right
Same.
now.
Same.
I
I got a
because Nyla Rose just seems like someone you could just fuck around with and just talk to.
I got an autograph from
Kinda like Acclaimed.
Sheeta from the first All Elite crate,
Oh, he's pointing to it.
but I would still want
the
to meet
Flying
her
Dutchman.
in person.
The Flying Dutchman's treasure.
She would actually be only one of two people that Sabrina would meet.
Sheeta? Well, Orange Cassidy.
Sheeta and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
I don't think Sabrina would care about meeting any other wrestler.
Yeah, these two are big ones. Sheeta would just be fun, and then, like I said, Nyla Rose would be someone who would just fuck around like the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed were so much fun to talk to. Nyla Rose would be so much fun to just kind of talk to. Even if you weren't talking about wrestling, just talk about whatever. Some of her outfits are awesome, too. Venom, fucking Mega Man, just fucking sick. Anyway, next week I think we should just do Backlash.
Okay.
Not the whole time, but I would say try to watch Raw and SmackDown.
You heard it here first. Backlash predictions next week.
Next week we'll do that. But what we're going to do is have 2 episodes this week, because we're going to watch the Stadium Stampede. And the Stadium Stampede will be out later. Probably, I want to say, let's do that. I'll put that out Wednesday. And Monday, you'll be listening. You're listening to this now. It means it's out. Or it means Monday.
It means it's in the future.
If you're listening to this video now, it means it's out. Does that make any sense?
If you're listening to this video now, you're in the future?
If you're listening to this video now, you're in the future. And hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm Darren.
Hey.
I'm Darren from 24 hours ago, because this is Sunday. And I edited it and put it out. And you're welcome.
All right.
I'm sorry. Listen, we have funny parts. We have to put something funny in here, at least somewhere in the video. And not just talk about what we think as far as what wrestling is.
Glorious.
Don't fucking do it again.
All right.
All right. So thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Next week we'll be doing Backlash predictions. And probably be bored the whole time doing it. I will.
Do the needful.
Bye.
So, overall, I'll take it. I'll agree with it.
By the way, this week's episode's title is... Do it again.
Does it count?
Does it count, though?
I'll be honest. You pointed at me, and I legit was like, I forgot what I said. I think I killed him. He took his headphones off.